What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the right side here, we have Branded. This is going to be us playing. And then on the left side here, we have a Yubel. This deck's going to get brand new support with the Yubel, our Phantom of Yubel, being essentially a monster negate. Quite nice. I wanted to be featuring this deck one last time before we saw the new support, to be able to show you guys off, being a quick refresher on how good that new support is. And I'll mention some of the times where they can make that new support here. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel a lot. We're on the road to 10K here, and we need your guys' support. And let me know in the comment section down below what else you guys want to be seeing. If you guys want to be seeing some more combo videos, you want to be seeing some more deck profiles, whatever you guys want to be seeing, we're going to be doing it. We're going to try to feature a Ubel deck profile coming up this week, with that copy of Ubel dropping. I believe Thomas is picking it up right away. Shout out to Thomas. He is enjoying the Ubel deck quite a bit. We do seeing a shuffle it up, and we're going to be seeing a die roll here. We see Branded win the die roll. Quite a nice sign, and we're going to be going first. With the Branded deck, of course. This is going to be a 40 card build as well, which I should mention to you guys. We're starting off with a normal summon of a Quem. Getting hit with an Imperm is quite nice, but we do have that Branded fusion. They have the Ash, but we have the Call with the quickness. Damn. And then we're going to be able to just resolve that copy of Branded fusion. This is what I like to see. I remember this duel, which is why I knew it was going to happen. But we see that Ash Blossom being banished. They ain't no Ash stopping Branded fusion today. And then we're going to go for that copy of Albion. By using that copy of Rebellion as well as Albaz, we're then going to be able to activate the effect. And what do we choose to use here? I think we don't even use the effect. That's crazy. I mean, there is times where you don't really use it if you don't want to use it. We start off with just activating a talent. And then we look at a copy of Gates, the Ubel card, and the Squirmer here. And then we're going to be going for the copy of Rebellion. So we already have the Cartesia in the hand, which is why we were thinking if we wanted to activate the effect, which was that card that we did reveal. This is some of the different gameplays you guys will be seeing sometimes. You don't want to just stop that combo to play through other stuff. We see the Rebellion tag out for that Albion, placing that loss on the field, and then being able to summon the Cartesia. We then Cartesia use the Rebellion as well as itself to go into that Granganol, which then we see it dump and lost, search for a copy of Albion, and dumping that copy of Gimmick Puppet here. We then see Albion going to activate its effect, sending the copy of Albaz to the graveyard to letting us draw an additional card here, which we are going to be able to just get another little refreshment of the hand. We do have the effect of Cartesia to add back to the end phase because that copy of Albion touches the graveyard, and then we're going to be able to set the copy of Branded in red. So we're going to be dumped a second Albaz, by the way, off that copy of the Albion, was because if we have to summon it with the Quem later, it's going to be a nice form of interruption. It also kind of is like the only card that we can bring back other than the copy of Albion, which is kind of be bad with that copy of Albion. But we do activate the effect, being able to search now for, or we do Gimmick Puppet our opponent, is what I should say there, with that copy of Albion, the Sanctifier Dragon. And then we're going to be giving ourselves the Albion, so if it touches the graveyard once more time, we get to be able to get another search. And then we give them our opponent our Gimmick Puppet here. We are going to turn everything to attack position, and we're going to activate the Albion effect, sending another copy of Retribution to the graveyard. I would say this should either be Retribution or a copy of the High Spirits, but we choose to go Retribution, which makes sense because if we do want to add back the copy of Branded Fusion, we can. And if you draw another card as well. We are in quite a good spot in this. We didn't see our opponent do anything there. We know two of the cards are essentially going to be useless, the Squirmer and then the Ubel card, which I don't think you should be playing, which I did mention to, I guess I probably said, like, what is that one? Which is, like, it is one of the bricks. I think that there's two of them that you don't even play anymore. I could be mistaken. But we're going to go for a copy of Albion, or Aluber, search for Branded Fusion, and then we go for the copy of Rebellion, activating the effect, discarding another copy of Branded in red, and then we get to go into a Mirror Jade, most likely here. And we could also get the search, double search with the copy of Tragedy and the Lost. Going into a lovely Mirror Jade here, which we can just beat over that copy of Gimmick Puppet, and this should just be game. The only card that we really are kind of worried about is Spirit of Yubel here. But if that was the case, we can kind of deal with that with the Grand Giganol. We don't have any main monster zones, so we are kind of forced to do that. But they do have... Oh, they drew into the other one as well. Well, kind of rough. I don't think that card should be played myself, and especially with the new card, I don't think you need to play it either. If it does change, let me know in the comment section down below, I guess. But definitely rough, not the card you're looking for. You're definitely looking to pick up a Spirit of Yubel or a normal summon of a Beast, for example. Now, Squirmer is a pretty insane card, I will say that. But Gate itself is just problematic, I should say. So, Gate searches for a Beast, which ends its search for another copy of Gate, which doesn't do too much, but it allows you to discard to summon out. So they can be able to summon out Squirmer, go into a Yama, and then they can just activate the effect to link up, going even to an Anguish, then the Anguish to be able to link up once again. Now this is obviously without the input being on their field, but that's why I kind of ripped that card. Just going to be able to just be a little bit of a better kind of thing. I don't really care about the Squirmer because I know a Squirmer is just a guaranteed 1. Now, of course, it can bring back out a 0/0. But it needs more setup than just activating a Gates, being able to search for a normal summon, if that makes any sense to you guys. It is a little bit weird that we didn't see them summon out or even set the Squirmer there. I feel like being able to set an additional body to protect them can be quite nice, rather than just passing turn. But we are going to be seeing the Ubel deck now choosing to go first with that exact normal summon we're going to be seeing them place the Gates, which searches for the Beast. Beast normal summons, activating, be able to search for the Gates, which is important for anyone playing Yubel, is you actually have to have a legal search target for Gates to be able to activate that card. It has to be able to search. So if you are on a draw, you cannot legally activate that effect. Or you can't legally activate that card, I should say. We're going to be seeing Nightmare Throne going to be able to activate here, searching for the D-Lotus, which can then summon himself out with an additional 0/0 normal. And then we're going to be seeing the effect going to activate going into that copy of Spirit of Ubel. Spirit of Ubel is searching for Nightmare Pain, and now this card is a Ruling Pain. Making the Ubel monsters, or making your opponent forced to attack into Ubel monsters, and that's forcing them to go into battle phase even. Those cards are very weird. But we're going to be seeing Nightmare Pain destroying the copy of Spirit of Ubel, searching for a copy of Squirmer, and then we're also going to be able to activate the effect of the Throne and the Spirit of Ubel, summoning out the copy of Terror Incarnate and our copy of Ubel himself, or itself, I should say. Now we are quite deep into our combo here. Squirmer can then summon, and do we choose to destroy or not? That is the question. We choose to not destroy here, which can help out quite a bit. Being able to choose is insane. We then go for a Yama search for our favorite dog, Shavara. People are like, well, you can't call him Shawarma, which, honestly, fight me, bro. We're going to be seeing the effect now going to be activated of the Shawarma, destroying the copy of the Ubel Incarnate, and then we're going to be able to see the Terror Incarnate summon out the copy of the New Boy here. I did think that it missed timing, but I'm not exactly sure when and how. To be honest, I'm not even sure how these missing timing cards work, and I really don't care. This could be cheating. I'm not too sure. Someone told me that the Ubel cards miss timing with the Unchained cards, but I don't really know. I don't understand how they would miss timing, to be honest, but we're going to be seeing them go up into a Rage, and then we're going to be seeing the Shavara set the copy of Chamber here. But the Yama is still on the field, which is a little bit interesting to me. We're going to be seeing the Squirmer banished to summon out what I'm going to be assuming is going to be the Yubel here. And then during the end phase, we're going to be seeing Samsara D-Lotus trying to summon himself out. But we do have something to stop that, I believe. But I guess we're thinking if we want to link up. We're going to set additional card here, setting another card. And then we're going to attempt to go to end phase and activate the Samsara D-Lotus. And we do chain the copy of Sorenir to summon itself out. Now, the reason why we hold it to the end phase is because, honestly, we don't really care. The only card that we care about is Samsara D-Lotus, changing the effects to destroy cards, and of course the Ubel, or the Rage / Yama. So if they put the Yama in the graveyard, we could have potentially banished that with the Sorenir and not cared, but we're not seeing the Rage at the graveyard, therefore that Solemn is being used. Alongside, if the the Solemn does get sent to the graveyard, it will be able to trigger, kind of being nice. But we summon it in an attack position, which I'm not sure why. We do normal summon the Albaz, activating effect on the copy of Fusion Deployment, which we were thinking about, people like, well, why don't you just go Fusion Deployment to the copy of Albaz? The reason why being is because the Rage actually makes it so you can only use your opponent's special summon monsters here. But it does not matter because we can hit with the copy of Super Poly here for Yubel, Love and Thunder, or Love and Defender here, using our copy of Sorenir, Albaz, and that copy of Yubel. We are cooked. Sorenir can trigger, but guess what? We can't do anything. We take some damage here with the Love and Thunder, and they get summoned a copy of the Incarnate because the Ubel field spell states if it leaves the field due to a card effect, and Fused Super Poly, I believe, is a card effect. So they get summoned that out. We get to dump Retribution, which is not going to do anything for us. We don't have our Branded Fusion in the graveyard, and yeah, we're not doing too hot. We do now have Cartesia. We can summon itself those. Wahoo! If we do another monster in the hand, we can kind of combat that. But guess what? Skill Drain gets flipped. We get kaput. Now, why are you saying, why do they flip up Skill Drain in your deck when you have a copy of Rage on the field? Now, fun fact, Nightmare Pain alongside the copy of Ubel and Skill Drain means that they still take the damage and you can't do anything about it. And you still have to attack. So, kind of rough to do. We do chain the copy of Cartesia to that copy of Skill Drain. I feel like in the right world, we do chain Rage to this. To go into a copy of anything, but they chose not to, so we go into a Quem using the Cartesia itself. The only card we can go into is a copy of Granganol, and guess what? Granganol doesn't get us anywhere, or either the Granganol or the copy of Quertus. Now, unfortunately, they don't get us anywhere. Now, in the real situation, we could have gone into the Granganol there, and put it in defense position so that they had to attack into it. And when it dies or they use something, we can actually summon a copy of Quertus here instead of just using that second body. Quertus can then bring out a copy of Albaz when it's destroyed by card effects, which I believe one of the Ubel cards turns the damage and destruction into card effects and not just battled. So that could have been maybe a trigger. And then we can summon out another body. So just essentially having 3 bodies to protect our life points. But we can't really beat Skill Drain. As well as I don't think we have any cards in our deck at the time to beat Skill Drain either. I don't think I went inside it in Cosmics going second against Unchained. Ubel, I guess. I probably should have put Cosmics in. There was a Duster in there. I should mention that. But we're not going to be able to dig into our deck deep enough to see that Duster. And we're probably not going to be seeing it off the rust. But moving on to Game 3, we are going to be seeing Yubel go second, with the Branded choosing, of course, to go first. Once again, the ball is in our court, and will the Gimmick Puppet succeed or not is the question. I guess stay tuned and find out, because we're drawing our 5. We're going to be seeing here start off with a Fusion Deployment and that gorgeous QCR Rarity, which I want to take a time to mention. Thank you, Konami, for making this deck so beautiful. We saw Rarity Collection 2 giving us a nice little 5 or 6 upgrades. I do like that. I like that. And then we saw with Battle of Legends, once again, we see a Lubellion Quarter Century Rare as well as a Branded Fusion Quarter Century Rare. Gorgeous, if I do say so myself. We're going to see a Branded opening, which deserves a high rarity card. Come on, Konami. Give us some love. We need more of it. I think we're 11 cards off from having an absolute all max rarity Starlight QCR deck. Make that happen. Make that happen, please. Branded in red, QCR, we want to see it. We want to see Branded opening, QCR. We want to see it. Even Branded lost, Retribution. You could have made that a QCR, but instead you chose to make it an Ultra. Honestly, I'm fine with an Ultra too, so I can't hate. But we're going to go into a copy of Granganol, and we do see a Ash as well as a copy of Ghost Ogre there. Ashing Branded Fusion and trying to hit that copy of Cartesia with a Ghost Ogre is quite a right play. Your only options are either the Albion, the Quem, or the copy of Albaz or Cartesia here. Cartesia still does resolve, but if we don't have any other cards in the hand, or you want to waste a card, unless we have another copy of Cartesia in the hand, we're not going to have access to that copy of Granganol here. But we are going to be having a little bit of a ruling question. Um, we are going to be chaining the branded in red there. And then we do ask about... I'm not even sure what we're asking about. Oh, someone asked me if I could chain link 1, chain link 2. That's what it was, okay. Yeah, so like the ruling question is like chain link 1, if it was like Cartesia or branded in red here. Or that, I guess branded in red would be chain link 2 to like a Drawers Swarm effect or some random shit like that. And then the head judge was there, so I was like, okay, I'm going to ask him while we're there. We're going to summon out the copy of the Granganol, which is then going to activate its effects to dump here. And we dump from the extra deck in Albion, I'm going to assume here. Now, we don't have that many cards to really use, but we had to use our branded in red to dump. Oh, we're forced to fusion. Okay. That makes sense with the Cartesia, which we have to go into a copy of the Boral Furious using the Albaz alongside the Druisworm. We were asking here if we fused with the Cartesia. So Cartesia Chainlink 1 and then red Chainlink 2. If we used the Granganol on the field with a copy of Albaz to a copy of Mirror Jade, would the Granganol be able to activate in the graveyard for its like on summon effect? Now we said no because of the same ruling that Yu-Gi-Oh changed it when we saw DD Crow with the interaction of Cyber Angel Ben 10 or whatever it's called. It said if the card changes positions or changes, I guess, locations prior to its effect, it's going to be able to activate in that zone. It does not able to activate the effect. Now, this was during the Drytron format where they were using Ben 10. And people were like, okay, well, if you change DD Crow, it's never in the graveyard to be able to activate. Therefore, it couldn't see itself, which is quite fine. So that was kind of just a question there. We did see it resolve with the answer of no, and that was the reason why. So Granganol is going to be dumping that copy of the Albion here. And yeah, we just add to hand. We have a Boral Furious, which is quite nice. We can destroy that copy of Granganol. Going to be able to get essentially a pop on the field, and Granganol still being able to be used. But they do see a Mature Chronicle and a Nightmare Pain going to be activated with a normal summon of Samsara D Lotus. Now they activate the effect of the Nightmare Pain here, and we are going to be thinking we have a Boral Furious, so let us pop that continuous effect here. But if they have another Dark Fiend, we are going to get punished. We let that resolve. And we see a Spirit of Yubel being summoned. And we are thinking we're going to be chaining the effect of Grand here to summon from the deck. Going for a Quem. Quem can dump an Albaz. Or don't even need to dump Albaz, because we already have Albaz in the graveyard here. But yeah. Samsara D Lotus summon out the Spirit of Yubel. We're going to be seeing Spirit of Yubel being able to search for the copy of the Trap here, Eternal Favorites. Now this card I don't believe is going to be used anymore in the new version of the deck. But we're going to be seeing Quem dump a copy of Retribution there for the follow-up turn, being able to add back, or even this turn, being able to add back a card like Branded in Red to discard off that Albaz once a card touches or leaves the extra deck with that Quem. We're going to be seeing the effect here of Nightmare Pain going to be activated there. We do chain the Boral Furious on itself and the Nightmare Pain. We protect it with a branded opening. Yeah, you definitely have to make sure that you don't destroy cards for cost. Like we saw the Ubel in the hand, which is huge. But we were going to be destroying that copy of Nightmare Pain with that copy of Boral Furious. We have to destroy something, and we do not care about Mature Chronicle at all. Nightmare Pain is like pounding the cards. Same thing with like Ogre. You want to save your Ogre cards for certain Ogre cards, and Nightmare Pain is an Ogre card. So we're going to be seeing this a mysterious card, most likely going to be that Trap. They had two cards in the hand, and we revealed one of them being the Ubel. So we kind of already know what the other card is being set, which has been very unfortunate. But they passed turn to us. We do have a copy of Brand Fusion, and we know we are going to be able to summon it out here. Quite nice. Now we do ask, can they use Spirit of Ubel for that copy of the Love and Thunder or Love and Defender here They do say no. We do here make a little bit of a misplay. We go into Boral Furies, activating the effect, trying to destroy that copy of Branded Fusion to pop that trap. You can't do it. You have to destroy a monster. We do catch that later in the turn, I believe. We go for Lubellion there, and then we put Lost on the field, and then we take a second to read. I just wanted to make sure that I could still declare an attack, and then I realized it said monster, so they'd still have the trap set. And then we just say nothing really changes there. I'd pop itself, I guess, because I'm kind of forced. Like, at that point, I know the card's that's destroyed, so I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just say I pop itself, so that like I know the card is no longer on the field. Now, I guess you could just rewind the game state, but I felt like I already knew the card in his hand, which was Yubel. So I said, okay, well, I'll just solve the problem by popping my own card, which was like a legal card that I could activate at the time, therefore fixing the game state without having to rewind, and not also getting any card knowledge. Like, I'm not popping my own Quem, so pretty safe to say. But we go for a nice little combo here. We put the Albel in the graveyard. We also banish that copy of Spirit Ubel, therefore it can be destroyed. Or I guess, so it can't trigger being destroyed by being banished. And then we go for a nice little copy of Guardian Chimera. Being able to pop one. Now, it can't attack directly, but we do get to summon it with Quem and stuff like that. And search. And search once again. Having the Mercurial Search is very huge. We just pop the Mature Chronicle and draw 2 cards as well. Now, we just want essentially just resources here. So then we normal summon a copy of a Luber, and we get to search for a copy of Branded Opening here, which is not going to really do anything other than protect us with some random cards, being able to discard stuff as well. But we have Mercurial, and we can just actually go into battle and attack here. And this is going to be game with not even attacking with Guardian Chimera, being pretty nice, which we see Branded end up taking the win here. Ubel's kind of breaking up their hands, which is going to be still a problem with the new card there. But hopefully we will see the new card very soon. Hope you guys are watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we're going to see this in the next one. Stay safe. Peace.